Welcome back to the Deep Dive. Today, we're jumping into something really profound. Chapter 18 of the Bhagavad Gita.
That's right, Moksha Sannyasa Yoga. It translates more or less to the yoga of liberation and renunciation. It's the final chapter.
And our goal here, our mission for this deep dive, is really to explore what true freedom means, according to the Gita. It suggests quite powerfully that freedom isn't about, escaping life.
No, not at all. It's more about understanding and, crucially, surrender. This chapter wraps everything up.
It really does. So let's get into it. Where does Krishna begin this final teaching?
Well, he dives right in, addressing two concepts that often cause a lot of confusion: sannyasa and tyaga.
Right, renunciation, but different kinds.
Exactly. Sannyasa is often taken to mean renouncing actions altogether, like becoming a hermit. And tyaga is more about renouncing the attachment to the results, the fruits of your actions. And Arjuna, like many of us, is a bit stuck here. He's essentially asking, what's better? Should I just drop everything, leave the world? Or should I act, but, without caring about what happens? This fundamental question.
A really practical one, too, I think, even now. And Krishna's answer here is, well, it's pretty pivotal, isn't it? It sets up the whole chapter.
It absolutely does. It cuts through a lot of that confusion.
So when we think about renunciation, especially in, say, modern life, not living in a forest, how does Krishna redefine it? Is it different from just giving everything up?
Yeah, that's exactly the point he makes. He clarifies that true sannyasa isn't about the outer show of abandoning your work or family or responsibilities.
Okay.
He says quite directly something like, renunciation of selfish desire is true renunciation, but then he adds a critical part, but giving up action itself is not right.
Ah, okay, so you don't stop doing things.
No. The real renunciation, the real sannyasa, it's internal. It's about letting go of the ego that drives the action, letting go of that craving for a specific outcome. It's not about shirking your responsibilities.
So you can be deeply involved in life, in your work, whatever it is.
But internally detached from the ego-driven need for success or failure. It fundamentally changes how we view detachment. It's not apathy.
Right. That makes sense. But, sometimes letting go of attachment to the outcome, it can feel, well, almost passive, like you might lose your motivation or drive. How does Krishna address that? Does this detachment lead to just not caring?
That's a really common worry, and Krishna tackles it head-on by introducing, or rather explaining in detail, the three gunas.
Ah, yes, the gunas, sattva, rajas, tamas.
Exactly. These are like the underlying qualities or modes of energy in nature that color everything. Krishna explains that our actions, our karma, even the sense of who is doing the action, the karta.
The doer, yeah.
Right, the doer. And even our understanding, our buddhi, how we perceive things, it's all influenced by whether sattva, rajas, or tamas is dominant.
Can you quickly break those down again?
Sure. So sattvic is the quality of purity, harmony, wisdom, think clarity, focus, steady understanding, like when you're really absorbed in something meaningful.
Okay.
Rajasic is all about activity, passion, ambition. It's driven, sometimes restless, often attached to results, that high energy for a project, but it can also lead to stress or burnout. And tamasic is the mode of inertia, ignorance, darkness. It's confusion, laziness, that feeling of being stuck, or frankly, just can't be bothered.
Right.
And the really fascinating thing Krishna points out is that even things we think of as good, like acquiring knowledge or doing charity or discipline, even faith itself, can be distorted. They can be colored by whichever guna is dominant in your mind at that moment. A sattvic sacrifice is different from a rajasic one done for show,
Wow. Okay. So bringing this down to earth for us listening, what's the practical takeaway?
Well, think about your own experience. You can probably recognize these modes in your day. That moment of calm focus. Sattvic, that frantic energy, maybe checking your phone constantly. Rajasic, that feeling of just wanting to veg out and ignore everything. Tamasic.
Yeah, I can see that.
So Krishna's point is, the real work isn't just changing what you do on the outside. It's about purifying your inner state, understanding which guna is influencing you, and consciously cultivating more sattva, transforming the source of the action.
Purify the inner nature, not just manage the outer actions. That's deep.
It is, and it leads naturally to the next big question.
Right.
If we're meant to act, but without ego, and purify our nature, well, what actions should we be doing?
Right. What's the right thing to do?
And this is where Krishna brings in Swadharma.
Swadharma. Your own duty, your unique path or role in life.
Exactly. Your innate nature, your calling, you could say. And he gives us really potent advice. Better to fail in your own duty than succeed in another's.
Oof. That hits home, especially today, with social media and constant comparison.
Mm-hmm.
It's a powerful call to stop looking over your shoulder, stop trying to live someone else's life because it looks successful. It's about honoring your path, your authentic contribution.
Finding fulfillment by being true to your own nature, even if it doesn't look like conventional success, that's where real satisfaction lies, according to the Gita.
Okay, so we have internal renunciation, understanding the gunas, following our Swadharma, and this all builds, doesn't it, toward the absolute climax of the Gita, Krishna's final, ultimate instruction.
Yes, this is really the crescendo. After guiding Arjuna through all these layers of understanding, Krishna delivers the most profound teaching. It's verse 66 of this chapter.
What does he say?
He says, "Abandon all varieties of dharma and just surrender unto me alone. I shall deliver you from all sinful reactions. Do not fear."
Wow. Abandon all forms of dharma, even Swadharma.
It's often interpreted that way, yes. Abandon all reliance on prescribed duties, rituals, even your own efforts, in a sense, and simply, completely surrender to the divine, to Krishna, as the representation of that ultimate reality.
That feels like the absolute core of it all. After all the philosophy, all the paths described,
It boils down to this.
it's not just intellectual understanding, it's not just doing the right actions, even selflessly. It's about total surrender, devotion, love, really.
Yes. A complete shift from, I am doing this, to thy will be done, essentially. It's moving from the head to the heart into complete trust and reliance on the divine.
So if we were to try and synthesize the key lessons from this incredibly rich chapter, Moksha Sannyasa Yoga, what are the main takeaways?
Okay, let's recap. First, true renunciation isn't about dropping actions, but dropping the ego and the attachment to results behind those actions. It's internal.
Right.
Second, everything, our actions, thoughts, knowledge, even our sense of self, is constantly influenced by the three gunas, sattva, rajas, tamas. Awareness is key. Third, finding and living your own unique path, your Swadharma, is far more important for your spiritual growth and true fulfillment than trying to imitate someone else's success.
Stop comparing. Got it.
Fourth, performing your actions selflessly as an offering with devotion is the way to free yourself from the cycle of karma.
Action and devotion leads to freedom.
And finally, the ultimate step, the culmination. Complete surrender to the divine, letting go of all other supports and trusting entirely. And in that surrender, fear dissolves. Do not fear.
That's powerful. So the Gita isn't telling you, the listener, to escape your life. Not at all.
No.
It's inviting you to see life more clearly, to understand your own inner workings, the gunas, your unique path, and to act from that place of truth and clarity, not from fear or ego.
Exactly. It's an inner transformation that then reflects outward.
It offers this profound reminder, too, doesn't it?
Yeah.
That you are not just your body, not just your mind with its ups and downs.
You are the eternal consciousness, the soul. And that soul finds peace. Well, not in trying to control everything, but in that surrender, in aligning with that larger divine flow.
It makes you think about Arjuna. At the end, the war is still there. The battlefield hasn't vanished.
No, the external situation is the same.
But he has changed. His inner conflict is resolved. His inner war is won. And maybe that's the final thought for you listening. How can this wisdom help you navigate your own inner battles, regardless of what's happening on your battlefield?
A question worth reflecting on?
Jai Shri Krishna.